Hello, welcome to the Saturday wrap for week ending Saturday the 9th of October 2021, time 09:25, and I am in my new favourite Wetherspoons, the Moon Underwater in Chelmsford, except it's not in Chelmsford, it's in Cheltenham. I did that yesterday, he says, scratching his head. I don't know if it's the fine ales I've been drinking. That's Blonde Witch by Morehouse. A little bit too sweet for me, but these things happen. Anyway, I look back on the week, which was a week of annual leave and Beanos, two Beanos, MB03 and MB04. So, word or phrase of the week. It could have been Mini Beano, to be perfectly honest. Probably should have been. Instead it's iPad Mini 6, which I'm using for the notes at the moment. It's lovely. I don't notice any jelly scroll at all, but mind you, I tend to use it in landscape mode. It's really fast, and apart from some issues that I had with it, well, one, transferring my data over, and two, private internet access, my VPN provider just being a real jerk when I tried to jump upon the cloud here. By the way, the internet here, it's about 70 down and 20 up. It's really fast, which is good. It's a great device. It really is a great device. It's not cheap, but I got a feeling it's going to last and last and last. The A15 is magnificent. The app of the week, since I've been Beanoing, not so much for the first Beano, but for this Beano in Cheltenham, where I've never been here before, and I don't know where anything is Google Maps in walking mode. It just takes you where you need to go. It's really good, because sometimes you're so close to a place but you can't see over, and you need someone. And being British, never ask, oh, what's the way to such and such. Google Maps does the business. On my Pixel 3a. Anyway, so what happened since last week? Well, it was up early for MB03. I was tripped back to Gloucester. I like Gloucester. I started out later, optimised timing, so there was a bit of light for the motorways. Got there just after 7 o'clock, stayed in the Premier Inn on the quayside, Costa Coffee there, bacon roll coffee, and I arrived just after 8 o'clock at the Regal, which is the Spoons with the King Kong in the centre of Gloucester. It was timing, couldn't have planned it better, even if I had tried. Would have failed basically, but it was good. One of the reasons I was going there is Gloucester Brewery have they've rented, I think they've rented a warehouse 4, just across the water from Wetherspoons, the Lord High Constable of England, and it has a self-service bar. Basically you top up a card, take it to the bar and then pull. I have a feeling that it's still in the trial stage. There was a video this week about who could pull the best pint. I had halves because I wanted to try as much as possible. There were 2 guest ales on there. The lady behind not the bar, did offer to me a top up. And then the video was, oh, look how people are doing it. Bit too much carbon dioxide, I think. But there you go. And next day, I came out of the Regal with a dental appointment. I haven't had a dental appointment for 2 years. And turns out that my optician might start again because I'm listening to someone else's conversation. I was in the Regal the next day. I phoned my dentist. I haven't had an appointment for a checkup in 2 years. I usually go every year. And she says, "Oh, you're fine. You take care of your teeth and all that sort of stuff." And I phoned up 2 years in, and she'd retired. And then that was about 3 months ago, and I had to ring back in October, and it was just October, and I can't get an appointment now until February. Luckily, my teeth are okay at the moment. Had a couple of scares, but they're hanging in there. Brush them regularly, mouthwash, and take care of them, and the fine nails. But whatever. And on that day as well, I found Angie's Bar. It's in a side street. I thought I could find it. In the end, I had to use Google Maps. The only pub I've been to where you have to use cash. I didn't have any cash, but round the corner, and there was a couple of ATMs. It's a nice bar. It's a really nice bar, and they had filled rolls, cheese and onion to the rescue. Really, really good. I'd recommend it if you do go to Gloucester. I'd also recommend the Pelican. I spent a lot of time in there, and I now follow the landlord on Untapped, and he follows me. Great cask ales, great keg ales, usually some good bottles, and usually some cans of Aber Ale as well. The big pint ones, worth going to. And then Facebook went down, WhatsApp went down, Instagram went down. Engineering work, border gateway protocol. The thing just disappeared. Test, then deploy. Someone's going to get a battering for this, and apparently yesterday there was a 2-hour outage. Test, then deploy. Mark, your fault. You should have a better engineering ethos. Ooh, talking of better engineering ethos. 3. Now, I've still got three accounts. On my iPhone, in my iPad Pro, and on my MiFi. I've got rid of one, and that's my Android phone. That's gone to Tesco's Mobile, which is a mobile virtual network operator for O2. That has turned out to be really, really good, apart from no Wi-Fi calling. 3, their coverage isn't as good, and also their cells are completely saturated, especially in the middle of the day. You can tell that because early in the morning, fine, midday, slow as slow can be. Now I know they say wait for 5G, but no. It needs to work now because I'm paying for it now. I think the rot set in when they bought Relish. That was the 4G broadband wireless provider in London. And then they're selling it all over the place, and they're overselling their network, and they're saturating it, and you only need to have a look at their Twitter. People are not happy. Now I've got until next August, but on this going, I won't be staying around. It's a real shame because they really were a good network. They were the network for data users. Now they're the network for unhappy people. Came back on Tuesday. First thing in the morning, no sign of collection for a Mini 6. Got home, had a look again. They have some in stock. Here's a tip. If you're waiting for any of their products and the dates for mail order are pushing out, keep an eye on the local stores. They get stock in for people who can either pop in and collect them or just wander in and ask. I did it online, I reserved it, I went down there, I got there early. You have to with the railways like they are in the Rhymney Valley. And I was in and out within about 5 minutes. It was all paid for. There's a box on the way for my old one, so I can get that traded in. Should be there when I get back. And as I've said, it's a corker. It really is. The transfer, I went for the device transfer. That mostly all worked, although not all the apps downloaded. Apparently, if you don't use them that regularly, they sort of leave them hanging there. I would have preferred a switch that just said, everything you got, just download. Had to log into a couple of things. Google Authenticator didn't come over, but you can export and re-import all of that. I'm feeling a lot better about my transfer of my iPhone to my new iPhone whenever I decide to get it, except I have about 21,500 photographs, so it might take a good time. I'm going to start very, very early in the day. Okay, so Thursday, MB04, Cheltenham. Now, the slip road onto the M4 at Forge Lane wasn't supposed to open until 6. It's getting darker in the mornings. I wanted some light. Basically, a lot of the M4 isn't lit and the M5 isn't either, so I wanted light to travel up on. So I thought I'd start later. My planning was out because most of my planning was based around a Saturday journey. This was a Thursday, the roads were chocker. I used Waze. Thank you, Waze, you were great. It took me on a rather odd journey from junction 11A, almost nearly into Gloucester and then round and back, but it got me there, even with all the traffic jams. It was a good place. And I discovered the Moon Underwater. There are 2 spoons in the centre, the Bank House over 2 floors and the Moon Under the Water. I prefer the Moon Underwater. It has lots of the cubby holes, it has faster Wi-Fi, it has the beer garden out the back, and it just has that feeling. It really does. Yesterday, after a sherbet or 2 in the Moon, I went to Favourite Beer. It was its birthday, 11 years old. A bottle shop, a tap room, tons of beers, Canadian craft beers, and food because of the birthday. Thank you, Rosie, you were awesome. I need to go back there. The Wi-Fi was good as well. 10 minutes walk from the Moon Underwater. A corker, a really great place. Really great place. And one thing I've noticed since I've been here, the number of electric scooters. I saw 1 or 2 in Gloucester, but here, tons of people on them. Slight exaggeration, but there you go. And electric bikes as well. The whole place has a sort of air of lithium-ion powered mobility. I think I might go to the beer garden at the back. It's a really nice Saturday. Anyway, that's me complaining on, beering on, explaining on. Ta-da!